Welcome to the PacClone series of videos. This is an update video to let you know I'm still working on the project and making some headway. This video is of a technical nature and is intended for those who are interested in programming on the Commodore 64. In this video I rehash the ghost movement logic explanation, show an example of a bug and its fix, and jump into adding a feature to the program code, implementing sprite display bonus points for eating ghosts. I'm starting off by partially showing my OneNote page to help illustrate the progress I've made thus far. I blurred out some of it so as to not give away upcoming spoilers, but I thought I'd use this page to remind myself of what I've accomplished. The bullets at the top represent mostly bug fixes, and the bullets at the bottom represent new code ideas which still need to be worked on. And as I implement these ideas, I will probably in turn create more bugs to fix. It's a never-ending cycle. Okay, in this video I am breaking out my old Pac-Man board game so that I can demonstrate some logic behind the PacClone assembly program that I have been working on. I got a question from somebody who watched my YouTube video and he wanted clarification on how it was that this logic was working that controls how the ghosts follow Pac-Man and how the ghosts are able to get back to the ghost cage once Pac-Man eats the ghosts. So I hope this video better explains what it was that I was trying to explain in my first couple of videos on the logic. So let's say that this is Pac-Man and he's out on the board somewhere, and that this is the ghost, and the object is for the ghost to try to track down Pac-Man. He's the destination point. So if I'm starting off from right to left and I'm right here and we need to make a decision on which direction to go, the logic in the PacClone program has two sets of directions, the random directions and the priority set of directions. In this example, the random direction would be you can either go up or left. You can't go down because there's a wall, and you can't go in the previous direction because that's just the logic. You can't, otherwise you'll end up doing this. The priority directions are either left or up. So the priority directions match the logic of the random directions. So we're just going to move towards a random direction, and then you rerun that logic. The random direction is to go either down or left, but the priority direction is to go up or left. But you can't go up because there's a wall. So on your priority set of directions is only to move left. So the logic dictates on the game, it kind of goes, I use my random directions, random, 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 and then every fifth or sixth time, I then use my priority direction. You can adjust that as a variable so that every fourth time you go in the direction of priority, or every third time, or every second time, which ramps up the difficulty in the game. Now, when Pac-Man finally does eat a power pellet, and then he eats the ghost, finally, the ghost turns into a set of eyeballs. And once that happens, I change the logic in the program to move the destination to the ghost cage that the clone wants to move to, and then I make the ghost move in the direction. I don't use the random set of directions anymore. I only use the priority directions. So he'll move in the direction of priority until he gets into the ghost cage. So that's pretty much how sums up how the logic works, and I hope that helps some people understand if you didn't follow it in my first couple of videos. That's how I'm doing the logic. It's not the perfect way, but it's the way that I've set up to do the logic in the PacClone. So in this clip I wanted to show or demonstrate a bug where once the Pac-Man eats a ghost, he doesn't actually, the ghost never makes it back into the cage. I want to demonstrate that now. And so these are the types of problems you can run into when you're making a program that just these weird little random bugs. Everything worked, but when I changed maps, look what happens to that ghost. He just does not want to enter the cage. And so he just goes wobble, wobble, wobble up and down right there. And it didn't take me that long to track it down, but the cause of the issue. Wobble, wobble, wobble. So it looks pretty funny. They never enter the cage. And in fact, it's such a gross malfunction that you can finish the rest of the whole map if you ate all the ghosts once, and no one will come after you. So what this turned out to be, and I already have the fix in place, I just have it commented out, in the part of the code where PatClone or the ghosts, when the ghost is moving over the ghost cage, I have a piece of code in here to detect when you're directly over the cage. And if you are, I try to force them down. I'm trying to force the ghost to move down into the cage. And I thought this was sufficient. But I actually have one more variable that it needs to be set up. That's a directional variable. And so I had it to move down, store it here in the direction, store it into this variable. And now with that in place, that fixes the problem. So just when you have one little piece of code missing can cause a huge malfunction in your program. And it's not until you see it happening will you even know about it, until you actually see it not working right. So now that I've corrected that, we'll try it again, just to show that that fixed the issue. If I can eat a ghost. There it goes. So right back into the cage. Anyhow, that was my bug fix of the day, and you just have to carefully write your program. You'll never probably ever have a, you always have bugs in programs, but you'll never be perfect. So let's eat some more ghosts. Yeah, it took me forever to figure out that it was only working if there was a wall right above. So it thinks it can go up, but I'm trying to force it down. But it wants to go up, but it forces it to go down. So anyhow, that has been repaired, and that was the fix. Okay, in this segment, I'm going to talk about how to create the reward sprite that tells how many ghosts you've eaten, and give the reward amount. 100, in my case, I'm using 100, 200, 400, 800. I'm going to start out by looking at the sprite editor, and I've already created the sprites in here, and I'll kind of cycle through these really quick so you can see all the sprites that I'm using. And then here's my first one, 100, 200, 400, 800. And you can see that the size I've gone ahead and used, it's a little bit larger than a single 8x8 matrix, and it spills over into the second one. So that might cause some issues with centering or placement that I'll have to deal with of the reward amount on there within the game. So let's see, let's get started. Looking at the code, I have to go in order to find where this needs to go, I need to look at the collision routine that I have written. And the collision routine is where it detects when a sprite, when PatClone runs into one of the ghosts. And when it runs into one of the ghosts, either he dies or you eat the ghost, depending upon if there's blue time. And so if we scroll down here, you can see where I have the part where you eat the ghost and you get points for it. So if you eat the first ghost, you got bonus 1, second ghost, bonus 2, third ghost, fourth ghost. So you get 100 points, 200, 400, and 800. And I load the accumulator for a 1, and then I jump down to score, which is the decimal position 4 in the X register, and then it jumps subroutine to increase the score. So you get 100 points, 200 points, 400, 800. So the concept is, what you want to do is award the points, then change pack clone sprite into that amount, the amount sprite, the reward amount sprite, like 100, 200, 400. Then have a short delay, then change pack clone sprite back to what he was before, then resume gameplay. And so that's what needs to happen in this section of code here, and I'm going to get started on that here shortly. Okay, here to start with, we are pulling in the score. I'm going to change or rearrange some of this. Set up the X register up here. And that way I can do the score first. Have to do it in between each one. So do that. Set the score. Okay. I clearly don't need a jump right here, but unless we put something in between. Okay. So now I got the score in first. Now I got the score. I want to turn off the pack clone from gobbling, and I think my variable is gobble on. Store gobble on. And then the next thing is to load the value for .7F8, which is I will just not set the interrupt to begin with. Right there. Excuse me. And then take out this. That might cause some weird stuff. Let's see. Yeah, darn it. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. 20, 40, 138. 20, 40, 139. 140. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I'm going to skip it ahead. 44. 48. 50. 54. 55. 56. Oops. 6, 7. Okay. Oh. 57. Let me skip ahead to 60. Well, 59. Okay, there's my 100. Is 159. Okay, 100 is 159. 100 points is 159. 159 is what? 9F. So I'm going to comment this out. I'm going to leave the interrupt disabled. Hold on, where was that? I'm going to leave this commented out for now. Yeah, just for now. I said it was 9F. Almost didn't do the first two here. So that should display. Oops, I need a $sign in front of that. That should display 100. I almost didn't do the first one. Now I need some sort of a delay, which I don't have a real good delay mechanism yet. So I gotta load X with a value. Oops, that was it. Load it with 255. JSR delay. I don't know how slow that is. I'll experiment. Add a couple of them in there. Then I'm gonna turn Gobble back on. Probably have to make this into either a macro or a subroutine, switching out a few things. Oops. Let's see. Now with the interrupt off, he's not going to chomp up and down, and his mouth's not going to move open and close, and the dots are not going to flash. Or I should say the energizers. Oh, I didn't comment out my RTS. Should have caught that. Wow. It's worse than I thought. Well, it's not supposed to be doing that either. So, I actually kind of like that, but no. Because I didn't switch him back because the interrupt's off. Let me turn the interrupt back on, because I was assuming that this interrupt would be running, and the interrupt will reset him back. So let's put that back in. See, it was so fast you didn't even see it. So my delay is clearly not long enough. I need to improve the way I'm doing delays. It's just I haven't gotten around to it yet. Can't let this stand like that. That would get on my nerves. Oh, I got an error. Oh, I can't do it this way. I'm getting a branch error. Okay, I got too many of these. JSR, new delay, and down at the bottom of in between something, throw that in. I have to fix my delay issues. This is ridiculous. Come on. Oh, I gotta eat one of them. Ooh, that was weird. That was weird. Still clearly not long enough for the delay. And I think it changes them into the ghosts. The ghost has to disappear. That's part I did not take into account. Oops. Yeah, the ghost has to disappear. Do all the ghosts have to disappear? That's a possibility. So anyhow, this is an insight into how to create all the tribulations that are required into creating, just to show the score amount for each ghost that's eaten. I'm gonna call it here and make some of these improvements and come back. Okay, I'm back and I have created a new routine that I was starting on. Right now it's set to just the right length to eat one ghost, and it's loading 9F, which is 100 points, storing it here, makes the pack stop gobbling, clears, stops the interrupt, sets the 100, does the delay, turns the gobble back on, re-enables the delay. So I'm going to do that. I know this could probably be a quick little routine or a macro, but for now I'm going to copy and paste this, Control C, and do the same thing for 200, except with this one I'm going to go 9F, I'm going to go A0 for the 200 symbol. And I mean I could finish that out with these guys too. Go ahead and throw it in. Make this a 1. Copy paste. I'll clean this up later. Increase the score. Make this A2 and cross my fingers and see if this actually looks the way it's supposed to look. I still don't have sound effects yet, but bear with me. Except for that, the dot, which I'm told sounds like a helicopter. Now I gotta eat more than one of these guys. Good luck. I guess I might have to increase my speed to do that. 200. Okay, let me get that third guy. I did increase blue time so that it's ridiculously long. 400. It's flashing, means blue time's running out. I might not be able to get to this guy, especially if I go the wrong way. Yes, so 1, 2, 4, 8. I need to play around with that a little bit more. It's not as efficient and succinct as I would like it in here, so I will probably take these few lines of code right here. The only thing that changes in there is this variable 9F, A0, A1, A2. So just make that either a quick macro. I'm thinking a sub rather than a macro because it makes the code shorter. But okay, here I am back after creating a quick little sub routine to display the bonus points. And I only did it in one of these, so I just essentially copied this and made that into a little routine, and that's at the bottom here, display bonus, so that's I pasted it here. You just pass down the value in the X register and store X at 7F8. And right below that is my new delay. The delay just calls the delay $sign 80 times, hexadecimal value 80 times. I've only implemented this in one spot, and that's right here. So I load the X register with a 9F, which is the amount for 100 points. I'm gonna put a quick comment. Display 100 point sprite. So now I can shorten the code up here. Get rid of these comments, get rid of this, Control V, change it to A0. Display the 200 point sprite, A0. $400 point sprite, A1, and 800 point sprite, A2. So it makes it a little bit cleaner. Oops, I hit F1. And 800 sprite value. And then F5 to execute, to test out that I didn't blow anything away. Before I show you this, oh shoot, okay. I just wanted to point out that, I can't even scroll up, huh? I have this section right here to toggle the ghost so this section here toggles the ghost on or off, and so I wanted to turn it off so you could see the score better. So let's watch this in action. See, when I eat the ghost disappears, you see the score, and then his eyeballs go back to the cage. And I still have 2 more ghosts to get, and I died. Let's do that again. It's easier to start over. Quicker, let's put it that way. Try to eat these. Ooh, I missed that one. 200. 400. And having them the same color as the dots kind of makes it a little harder to see. If I can get this guy. Oh, there we go. 800. So all 4 of them work. That concludes this section. It is a lot cleaner. Here's where I turn off the ghost and pack. You see, I'm loading in the 10th parameter, which is the 8-bit sprite position of the ghost. Basically, it toggles the ghost off. And then the sub, within the sub itself, you're changing the value of pack to the value to the 100, 200, 400, 800, calling a delay, turning back on so he can bite up and down chomp, turn the interrupt back on. So yeah, it disables the interrupts, turns it back on, turns the gobbling off, turn it back on, and quick little sub. A little bit cleaner, and the only thing left here to add, there's a few things, but the next, one of the things I want to add here, I don't know when I'll do it, is to add a sound effect for during that delay. maybe in place of the delay.